Hi, I'm Thomas Noonan, and today we're going to talk about communicating non-defensively. So it's very natural for people to defend themselves when they feel like they are under attack, whether that's physical attack, emotional attack, or constructive criticism. First thing that we have to do to understand how to communicate non-defensively is to understand what defensive communication is, and how it affects us in the workplace. It affects us with our communication within the entire workplace by stifling communication. It blocks effectiveness on both the team and the entire organization. What is defensive communication? It's when we take things personally. 99% of the time it's not intended that way. People intend it to be constructive criticism to help us grow, but we take it the wrong way. 90% of the time it's because we have low self-esteem and we're very self-conscious of the thing that they're criticizing us on. It's not a real attack, but we become defensive when we lash out. How we act. So first thing we do, we can run for cover. So let's say that you're doing a presentation and someone criticizes the way that you did it in a constructive way, but you get very defensive. So we run for cover. We go to the rules, we go to regulations and guidelines, and go to the books and say, well, that's not the way it is, like that. Another way we do is we create a diversion, meaning we come up with another argument to get them off topic. So kind of flip the script on them, throw them under the bus in words. And also, again, counterattack, which is kind of like a counter diversion. We get defensive and we tag them back. So when defensive communication happens in the workplace, an example of how it works is a chain reaction, really. Somebody says something to us, like, I don't know that we're going to be effective in the New York market. Well, we perceive that as an attack. We've done this big layout of what we're going to do in the New York market. They say we can't do it, so we perceive it as attack. So we take a defensive reaction. When we react to their attack, they perceive that as a threat, which again, when they perceive that as a threat, we do a defensive reaction. And then when we react, they perceive that as an attack. So it's a huge chain that's never ending if we let it go on and on forever. This can be carried over to other relationships, not just that work team you have. If you get attacked in a work meeting and you walk out of it, well, then you go back to your cohort and an employee says something to you, you can lash out at them. And it can even go to home. If you have a bad day at the office, you can take it home and lash out at your kids or your other family members. Once a chain reaction is established, a stronger intervention is needed. Sometimes that's the supervisor. You need to go to a supervisor to have them intervene. However, what happens when the supervisor is the one that constructively criticized you and that you feel like they are attacking you? So that's where they become part of the problem. The best thing to do is handle it at the lowest level possible. So how do we do that? 5 skills of non-defensive communication. So once you feel like somebody's attacked you, these are 5 things you can do to help ease the situation and get back on topic. First one is disengage. Take a break. Whether that is a physical break or an emotional break. You have to remove yourself from the situation. If you have to go out and get some fresh air or get a cup of coffee or a water or something, just remove yourself from that person, that attack that you feel. Take a break and regroup. Another thing to do when you're disengaging is assume that it's not a personal attack. The second thing you can do after you take a break or you disengage, take a break, you can empathize. Put yourself in that person's shoes. Realize that it wasn't a personal attack. Go to them and explain to them how you felt and how you can imagine how they felt when you felt like you were attacked. The third step is inquire. Find out what the real concern is. Like I said, it feels like it's a personal attack, but it's not. So you have to inquire with questions about what are their real concerns. The fourth thing is disclose. Again, that kind of goes hand in hand with step two, which is empathize. Disclose is let the person know how you feel or felt when they attacked you, or you assume they attacked you. And then the fifth step is depersonalize. One thing we really have to realize is, and it's hard in today's day and age, work is what we do, it's not who we are. So when we get criticized at work, we really need to realize that it's not what we identify with. We need to keep them separate. A couple more helpful tips here. There's more to having a conversation that is open-end questions and closed-end questions. So open-end question is when you ask a question and you want a response. You just don't want yes or no and to be done. Closed-end is you ask a question, you want a simple yes or no. So when you're having a conversation, you need to be very aware of the tone of your voice. Are you being degrading, condescending, or anything like that? Are you showing interest? Another big part of conversation is your nonverbal behavior. Are you showing that you are interested in the conversation? Are you showing that you're not interested? Are you showing that you feel like you're being attacked? Are you portraying an attack on somebody? So part of a conversation is more than words. Ask it when somebody is doing a presentation. Asking questions is not an opportunity to make a statement or express opinion. It really is that time to ask questions to gain more knowledge. Again, questions are not used to communicate how we are feeling. It's really to discover information that will be helpful to understand accurately what the speaker means, believes, or feels. How to communicate non-defensively. First thing is you have to listen. That's a huge part of communication is listening to the other person. We need to connect. We don't just need to communicate. It's not receive and send. It's receive, process, and then send. We don't need to listen and then just say what we want to say. We have little control over others' personality and attitudes. However, when we're positive and we have a good attitude towards other people, that'll change how they act towards us, and their personality and attitudes can change as well. Sorry about that. I had a little technical difficulty with PowerPoint, but we're going to wrap it up here. Helpful tips too. It is good to know that conflict is unavoidable in most situations. When you get a bunch of people together, things are going to start not jiving exactly how you want them to be. You should, as Christians, we should be able to control our emotions and actions and reactions. We have to be in control of ourselves. We can't let what somebody says about us or our project or our work affect our emotions and our reactions and stuff like that. Know your hot spots. So we all know what gets our blood pumping and what's going to really get us angry really fast. So we have to be prepared for those situations. Know what your hot spots are, prepare for them, especially if you're doing a presentation to a large group. Expect somebody to hit your buttons and know how you're going to react to that situation. The big thing is change your reaction. If you know that you always react one way, make it a conscious objective to react a different way. Thanks for listening. That was my presentation on communicating non-defensively. The big part is communicating and really connecting with people. Don't just talk to hear yourself talk, actually connect with people. Thank you and have a great day.